Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're sifting through some really compelling research. And we're looking into something that, well, it might surprise you, especially if you mainly think of acupuncture for, pain.
Right, like back pain or headaches.
Exactly. But we're going way beyond that today. We want to uncover how this ancient practice actually has a pretty profound impact on something really fundamental.
Blood flow, the body's delivery system.
Precisely. And how that influences a critical area of health.
Yeah, that's the core idea for this deep dive, isn't it? Really understanding how acupuncture can enhance blood circulation.
And specifically what that means for reproductive wellness.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission, if you will, is to kind of peel back the layers here. Look at the science, the actual physiological mechanism.
Yeah, moving beyond just anecdotes or general claims.
Right. We want to see how optimizing blood flow through acupuncture might actually improve fertility outcomes. We're talking hard science.
And we should probably mention this isn't just speculation.
Oh, absolutely not. We're drawing from some really solid sources.
Things like meta-analyses, randomized clinical trials.
Right, and preclinical evidence, too, all pointing towards this link between acupuncture, blood flow, and reproductive health.
It's quite a body of evidence when you look at it together.
It really is. So I'm actually quite excited to unpack this with you.
Me too, because it touches on something so foundational. Efficient blood flow isn't just like a bonus.
No, it's essential.
It's absolutely critical for overall health. And when you think about reproduction, something so intricate, optimal blood flow is completely non-negotiable. It's the pipeline for everything needed.
For conception, for pregnancy.
Exactly. Think of it as the body's, ultra-efficient courier service.
Okay.
It delivers the oxygen, the nutrients, electrolytes, hormones, all vital components.
Directly to where they need to go.
Precisely. To the eggs, the embryos, the yolk sac, the placenta later on.
So if that delivery system is sluggish or blocked?
The whole delicate process can stumble. It really underpins everything.
Okay, so that makes perfect sense why it's so important. But the big question remains, how? How does acupuncture actually improve this critical blood flow? What's the first step?
Well, the first mechanism, and it's one that often surprises people, involves nerve stimulation.
Okay, the needles interacting with nerves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those tiny needles are inserted at specific points. They actually activate sensory nerves just beneath the skin. But it's not just a local thing.
Right. You mentioned it goes beyond the insertion point.
It does. These activated nerves, we sometimes call them peripheral afferents, send signals inwards.
Towards the brain.
Yes, directly to the brain. And this is where it gets really interesting. The brain receives these signals, and then it adjusts how the body controls blood flow through the autonomic nervous system. That's your body's sort of automatic control center.
Right. Heart rate, digestion, things we don't consciously control.
And blood vessel dilation or constriction.
Yeah.
So the brain basically gets this input from the acupuncture stimulation. And it tells the body, okay, let's optimize blood movement here. It might mean increasing flow or maybe balancing it out, directing it to a specific area.
If you're directing traffic based on need.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And the evidence for this is quite strong. There was a key study, Louis and colleagues, that showed electroacupuncture engages these sensory nerves, influencing the brain's autonomic circuits.
And a result?
It leads to something called sympathoinhibition, calming the fight or flight system, and vagal activation, boosting the rest and digest system.
Okay.
This combination changes what's called vascular tone, how tight or relaxed the blood vessels are.
Allowing the brain to fine-tune blood flow.
Exactly. To crucial areas like the uterus or ovaries or even the brain itself.
So for you listening, the takeaway here is pretty powerful. Acupuncture isn't just local. It's actually talking to your brain's command center to help direct blood flow right where it's needed most for fertility. That's quite something.
It really is a sophisticated level of influence. But you touched on something earlier, the body being a chemical system.
Right. Is it just nerve signals or is there a chemical aspect too?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just electrical signals. Acupuncture also triggers the body to release specific natural chemicals.
Chemicals that affect blood vessels.
Precisely. These substances act locally to relax and widen the blood vessels, vasodilation.
Making it easier for blood to flow through.
Exactly. And the star player here, with a lot of evidence behind it, is nitric oxide. NO.
Nitric oxide, okay.
Think of it as your body's natural way to open up the pipes if blood vessels are highways.
Nitric oxide clears the traffic jam.
That's a perfect way to put it. It allows oxygen, nutrients, hormones, everything to move smoothly.
And is there direct proof of this happening?
Yes. There's research, like Tang et al.
Yeah.
using real-time monitoring in animals, detecting NO release right at the acupoints during stimulation.
Wow, real time.
Yeah. And it's not just animals. A human trial by Ye and colleagues showed that moxibustion, often used with acupuncture, increased systemic nitric oxide levels. They also saw measurable improvements in vessel diameter and blood flow parameters in people.
So it relaxes the smooth muscles in the vessel walls.
Correct. Leading to microvascular vasodilation, increasing blood flow into the organs. It also seems to reduce chemicals that constrict vessels.
So it tackles it from both angles, promoting relaxation and reducing constriction.
Yeah, essentially, yes. It optimizes the local environment for flow.
So the clear message for someone focusing on reproductive health is that acupuncture is actively helping your body open up those vital supply lines.
Ensuring everything gets where it needs to go without roadblocks. Crucial for egg development, embryo implantation.
Okay, so that's two really strong mechanisms: brain control via nerves and chemical release widening vessels. But here's where my mind starts to bend a little.
Uh-oh. Where are we going?
Could acupuncture actually help grow new blood vessels, like literally building new roads in the circulatory system?
That's an excellent question. And remarkably, the answer seems to be yes. Yes. Especially over time. And particularly in areas where circulation might be a bit poor to begin with, acupuncture can encourage angiogenesis.
Angiogenesis, the formation of new blood vessels.
Correct. Creating new vascular infrastructure. It seems to do this by increasing certain proteins that are key building blocks for vessels.
Like what?
Things like VEGF, vascular endothelial growth factor, and HIF-1. And at the same time, it can reduce factors that might inhibit that growth.
So it promotes the builders and dampens the blockers?
A good way to summarize it. There's preclinical evidence, Zhang et al., for instance, showing electroacupuncture increased the area covered by new blood vessels in heart tissue.
Okay, in the heart.
Yes, and this led to improved function. And a meta-analysis by Zhu et al. Confirmed that electroacupuncture tends to increase VEGF and other angiogenic factors.
Factors that promote new vessel growth.
Exactly. So it suggests a pretty robust role for acupuncture in actually fostering the development of new blood supply lines.
That's incredible. So the insight here is it's not just optimizing what's there. It's helping the body build better infrastructure where needed, creating new pathways to get resources to those vital reproductive organs.
It seems to be actively enhancing the potential for blood supply.
Amazing. Okay, so we've got brain control, chemical release, new vessel growth. What about the really tiny vessels, the capillaries? Microcirculation?
Ah, yes. The front lines.
Because that's where the actual exchange happens, right? Oxygen out, waste back.
Absolutely critical. And yes, acupuncture doesn't neglect the micro level. It also improves the function of these microvessels.
How does it do that?
It seems to trigger the release of molecules that specifically open up these tiny vessels. This enhances circulation right at the microscopic level.
Ensuring individual cells get what they need.
Precisely. It might even help prevent tiny microclots that could impede flow in those very small spaces.
Is there clinical evidence for this too?
There is. Studies, like one by Wang and colleagues, have shown trends indicating acupuncture improves microcirculation. They see measurable changes in things like arterial impedance.
Which is resistance to flow.
Yes. And also changes in vessel diameter and other microcirculatory markers. It's a very targeted improvement at the most fundamental level.
So distilling that down for fertility, it's about making sure every single cell involved gets the best possible environment.
Right down to the microscopic exchange, ensuring optimal nourishment and waste removal.
This is incredibly detailed. Okay, let's try and pull these threads together now. We've got the nerve stimulation talking to the brain, chemical release widening the vessels,
Vasodilation, yeah.
the actual growth of new vessels, angiogenesis, and finally, improving the function of the tiniest microvessels.
Right.
So what does this whole package mean for you, our listener, maybe considering these options for reproductive wellness? How does this translate to actual outcomes?
Well, bringing it all together, these mechanisms working in concert, they create a synergy. And this synergy leads directly to what the research shows: improved conception rates and, very importantly, reduced miscarriage rates.
Because the environment is just better prepared.
Exactly. The enhanced delivery of oxygen, nutrients, hormones, everything, right to the eggs, the developing embryo, the uterine lining, the placenta. It creates a much more supportive environment for implantation and for sustaining a healthy pregnancy.
And the studies back this up.
They do. We mentioned meta-analyses earlier. Guo and Lai found acupuncture significantly improved outcomes after repeated implantation failure. That's huge for people facing that challenge.
Absolutely.
Another study, Zong et al., looked at patients with poor ovarian response. Electroacupuncture actually increased the number of high-quality embryos they produced.
Wow.
And it improved HCG positive rates, basically. Positive pregnancy tests, successful implantation.
That's direct evidence.
It is. And beyond specific studies, multiple randomized controlled trials show better conception rates when acupuncture is added to assisted reproductive technologies, like IVF.
So it works alongside conventional treatments, too.
It seems to support and optimize the body's own processes, making those treatments potentially more effective.
Wow. Okay, we started this deep dive thinking maybe about pain relief.
Yeah.
And we've ended up with this really comprehensive, science-backed picture of how acupuncture profoundly influences blood flow.
From the brain down to the chemicals, the vessel structure, the micro level.
It's quite a journey we've taken. The depth of understanding here is, well, it's genuinely remarkable.
It is. And, this whole discussion kind of raises a bigger question, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, if we can optimize something so fundamental, like microcirculation, using a precise method like acupuncture, and see such significant impacts on something as complex as fertility, it makes you wonder.
What other health areas might be influenced?
Exactly. What other conditions or areas of wellness could be profoundly affected by making subtle, positive shifts in our body's internal traffic flow?
That's a really interesting thought, the interconnectedness of it all.
It really prompts you to think about health more holistically, but still grounded in specific, measurable mechanisms like blood flow.
An excellent point to ponder. And for anyone listening who is interested in exploring fertility acupuncture specifically, we can point you towards the Berkeley Center for Reproductive Wellness. They're known as New York City's leading clinic in this area.
Yes, they have a lot of experience.
You can find them online at www.berkeleycenter.com. That's BERKLEY center.com. Or you can give them a call at 212-685-0985.
Good resource to have.
Definitely. Well, thank you for joining us on this fascinating deep dive today.
My pleasure.
We hope you feel more informed, maybe a little amazed by how intricate the body is and how ancient practices are being validated by modern science. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.